Yes, good morning, students, and welcome to the class of Microsoft. Good morning, Rajneesh sir, and a warm welcome to you, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. You may please start the session, sir.
Okay. Good morning, students. Hope you had a very good weekend. And I also hope you would have practiced at least a little bit of, you would have got some time to practice at least a little bit of the topics which we have discussed for the last 2-3 days. We had started with the MS Word, then we moved on to Excel, where we had spent at least, I think, almost 2.5 days, more than 2 days in Excel, and we have been learning so many new concepts in Excel, so many new features in Excel, and we had gone a little bit advanced part also, right? We'll be still be continuing with Excel because, as I told you, Excel is going to be one of the great companion for you when you are working as a CMA, and wherever, whatever departments, whatever roles you are into, Excel is going to be a really great help for you. Okay, so since we are getting time, I'm moving on to some advanced concepts also in Excel, which we'll be discussing in the coming 2 days also, right? So, but as I told you earlier, there is no point in just listening to this lecture. I want you to practice it, and I want you to ask doubts whenever you are getting, when you are practicing it. If you are getting some doubts, please do ask me during next class. Okay, so uh, I think what we will do is we can start with a Q&A session now, because since last 2 days you have got some. I hope you have got some time to practice. So if you have practiced it and you have got some doubts in whatever topics which we have covered already, I think we'll start with the Q&A session now, because any doubts you can ask that. Then we will start with the class. Is that okay, Jani ma'am? Janvi ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, I was telling students, if they have
Yes.
some doubts pertaining to the last topics after they have practiced it, they can ask
Okay,
it
sir.
now. We'll open the Q&A session now.
Okay, sir.
Since yesterday they would have got some time to practice, so if they have noted some doubts, they can ask it. Otherwise, we can start with the class. If you're clear, you can put a clear message also.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So, students, are you clear with the doubts of Saturday? Just put it in the Q&A section. Or if you have any doubts, then you can ask now. We are waiting for 2 minutes.
Yeah, we'll wait for 2 minutes. No
Sir,
doubts.
one student, yeah, no doubts, clear.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. I'm seeing it.
yes.
Students, please respond. If you have any doubts, please ask. Otherwise, you can put a clear message also. Till now, they have no doubts. Clear, clear. time duration I have problem. If you can specify the problem, it would be easier for me to help you out. Nishi Daniel, what is the problem with your time calculation? Then if you can specify the issue correctly, then we will be able to, I'll be able to help you out. Can you re-explain header and footer topic? We have never covered header and footer topic. We'll be covering header and footer topic in some time, maybe today or tomorrow's class. Will they get their recorded classes? Recorded classes you will get it, but you will have to wait for some time. Not now. You will be intimated once it's ready. Okay, I think there are no further doubts. We will start with the class. Okay, so students, now we had learned about the filtering, right? We had learned about the sorting and filtering feature in Excel. But how do we activate the filtering? How do we filter only one particular state data? All these things we had discussed in our previous classes. Now, an advanced version of this filtering is available, which is called dynamic filtering. Okay, dynamic filtering is where, for example, I am giving Kerala, I am just typing in Kerala here. I am just typing Kerala here. Now, when I am typing Kerala, it should go to this data and fetch only the Kerala data. Okay, fetch only the Kerala data and populate it here. And populate it here. I am not going to activate filtering here. I am not going to click on this and select Kerala. It is not, I'm not going to do that. But I'll be just typing Kerala here. I should be able to get the Kerala data in this portion. All the data should be populated in this portion. Okay. So normally when we were doing the normal filtering, what happened was the data filtered. The data filtered. Data filtered was, it was getting filtered only in this particular data only. It was not getting copied here. It will not get automatically copied here, right? So, but we are going to get the data in this portion using a function called filter. There is a function called filter. Till this time we were using the tool called filter, but now we are going to learn about the function called filter. And filter function is only available in the Office 365 version and above. It is not available in the older version. Okay, so please note that filter function is not available in the older versions of Excel. It's only available for the versions of Office 365 and above. Fine. Now, if you have got Office 365 and above, you can use this function called filter. Okay. The first attribute, the first parameter inside the filter function is the whole table. You must select the whole table. Okay. Now, how did I select this whole table so fast? Normally, you go here. How do you select? Normally, you go here. You select this. You manually select this, and you can drag this down. That was how you used to select this data, right? But I did it very fast. How did I do it? There is a shortcut key for that. Okay, there is a shortcut key for that. Go to the data, select the first cell in that data. Okay, go to the data and select the first cell inside that data. Now, in the keyboard, press Shift Control down. shift control down to select the whole column. Then again shift control right. Now down and right are the down key and the right key. We have the left key, up key, down key, right key. It is there, no? All the arrow keys are there. So shift control down arrow key and shift control right arrow key is what I pressed. That is how I easily selected this. Okay. Now, second attribute. Second attribute is, here we need to mention the column from where we are going to do the filter. The column from where we are going to apply the filter. Which column do we need to apply? Since I am giving Kerala as the data, I should select it from this column. I should select it from this column. Okay, so the column is also selected. Now, I must also put an is equal to symbol. Okay, and select this cell. What does this cell contain? This cell contains Kerala now. So I am asking Excel to go to this data and to go to this particular column and to see which are all the data which is matching to this Kerala data. Which are all the data which is matching with this Kerala data. Okay, wherever this column is having an entry called Kerala, that data have to be extracted from the table. That is what I am trying to tell. Okay, and I can close the bracket. There is one more attribute which is asked, but whichever attributes you have in this square bracket, it is not mandatory. It's an optional attribute. Even if you don't give this attribute, there is no problem at all. Even if you don't give an attribute, there is no problem. Excel will not give an error. But these two are mandatory. Whichever attribute is wrapped in a square bracket, it is not mandatory. The other ones are mandatory. So here array and include is mandatory, but if empty, there is another attribute called if empty, is not mandatory, but we will see to it later. Okay, and so that I can close the bracket now and press enter. Now whatever data I am seeing here is of Kerala data only. I am extracting the Kerala data and I am populating it in another location. This another location can be a different sheet. This can be a different area in the same worksheet, anywhere. Right. So this is called a dynamic drop down. I'll show the function again. I'll explain the function again. Function name is filter. The first attribute is the whole table which you need to select. Second attribute is from which column you wanted to apply the filter, and you must put an is equal to symbol and put M2 and put M2. Hope it's clear now. Okay. So this now I am changing this Kerala data. Changing this Kerala to Karnataka. Let's see what happens. Now I am getting Karnataka data. This is how we created dynamic filtering. So whenever you enter any data, you get the whole data filtered according to the selection. Now, let's take another example. In this case, I am not going to get the state. I am going to quantity greater than. Okay. So if I'm putting 50 here, quantity greater than 50. If I'm putting 50 here, I must get all the data where the quantity value is above 50. I should get all the data where the quantity is greater than 50. Now, if I change this to 75, then it must automatically update. The data should get automatically updated where you will be able to see only quantity values which is greater than 75. Right? So that's what we are going to do now. I'll again put filter function only. Inside the filter function, the first attribute is the table array. Second attribute, you must select the column. From which column are you trying to filter? In this case, I am trying to filter this from the quantity column. I will set the quantity column. Set the quantity column. And here, I am going to put the greater than symbol. Okay, I am going to put the greater than symbol, and I will refer this cell address where I am going to put the quantity. Okay, this is the cell which I am referring to where I am going to put the quantity. I'll close this and press enter. Now you will see that you are only seeing all those quantity values, all those orders where the quantity value is above 50. Now I am changing this to 75. My data will all automatically get updated where I'll be able to see only data where the quantity value is above 75. Right, so any column you can use this filtering. Okay, and you can use any of the logical operators. You can use is equal to, you can use greater than, you can use greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. All these values can be, all these logical operators can be used here to filter the data. Clear? Now, one more thing. For example, I am giving greater than 5,000. I am getting only blank data. There is no data available here. Okay, because I do not have any quantity values which is above 5,000 in my data. That is why it is giving a blank. But in that case, you can also give another parameter called not found. So this particular parameter gets activated. This particular attribute gets activated when you don't find any matches according to this filter condition. When you don't have any data which is matching with this filter condition, then this attribute will get activated. So whatever is there, it will be executed. Now here, okay, okay, just a second. I'll show how this. See, if you don't have any value, it will give you found, not found. And if you have some values to be shown, then the values will be displayed. So you're actually kind of doing a programming only. Okay, so we are actually giving the users so many features in your Excel worksheet. Hope it's clear now. And you can make this more attractive. You can make this more attractive. Let us go back to the state only. Okay, here I am going to give the state. Now I can create a drop down here. Remember, we had learned about the drop down features, I mean the data validation features, where we had added a list and all. Okay, so here also I can create a list of all the state names. You can have a drop down where Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Karnataka is displayed. You can create that list. Okay, and even for that, I must get all the unique values here, right? Because Kerala is repeated, Tamil Nadu is repeated. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a function called unique. Again, you are going to learn another function. Function name is unique. Now what will unique function do? And again, this unique function will work only in Office 365 and above. Just like filter function, this unique function also will be used, this unique function also will be working only on Office 365 and above. Now, under the unique function, you can give only one parameter. You need to give only one parameter, which is mandatory. Under this, I will select the stage column. Only one column I am selecting, and I'll close the bracket and press enter. Let's see what I got. It will extract which are all the unique values in this column. Which are all the unique values in this column. Clear? Now I'll go back to this cell. I am going to create a data validation. Data validation. Inside any value, you can choose the list, and inside the source, you can choose this source and press OK. Now I will also write a function called filter. Under the filter, I'll select the whole data and in the include section, I'm going to give the filter condition as B2 to B245. 245 is equal to this cell. Is equal to this cell. Okay, I'll close the bracket and press enter. Now it will give you an error because there is no value. Okay, I'll also handle that error. Not found. See, now it is giving me a default error, which is called not found. Why? Because there is no data here. There is nothing we have selected. Now I'll go here. I'll click on this drop down. Okay, now I've got all the state names displayed. I'll select one state name, and I will get the data populated. Again, I'll go to the drop down. I'll take Tamil Nadu. Now I'll get all Tamil Nadu data. I know this bit advanced. It might be a bit confusing also, but just see, notice the steps which I have used. Once again, I'll open up the notepad. See, these are all small things which you can use to make your worksheet more attractive and more user friendly. To make your worksheet more user friendly. Right? So what did I do in the whole process? First, using unique function, all the unique values were extracted. Another range outside the table or outside the source data range. This was the first step which we have done. Second step, write the before that, data validation feature, create the drop down list by selecting all the unique values. The unique values where you mean from this particular thing. These unique values you are going to use it as the items for the drop down list. Okay. Third thing, create a a filter function. Write a filter function. Write a filter function. That's all. So these were the only 3 steps which you have done now. Only 3 steps. Clear? So this is called dynamic drop down. This is called dynamic drop down where you use the filter function. If you are getting confused with all these 3 steps, forget about it, because this is not that important. This is only additional features you can add. That's all. If you wanted to make your data that much interactive, then you can use these features. Otherwise, at least understand what is this filter function, which is very easy for you to understand. Only 3 parameters, nothing else. Only 3 parameters. Okay, I'm just pausing it here. If you have any doubts in terms of dynamic drop down, you can check with me. Can we give conditions for more than one column? You can use AND function for that. Yes, you can add AND function to that, and you can have multiple column conditions also. Please repeat unique function. I'll do that. Can we use any function in between different sheets like this filter function? We can use any functions between different sheets. Any functions. Even you can use the sum function, sum if function, whichever function you can have it worked in different sheets. Okay, somebody was asking me to repeat the unique function. I'll repeat that. Okay, so here I'm trying to extract the unique values from this column. Okay, unique values from this column. So I'll use the function called unique. Unique needs only one attribute to be provided, which is the column from where you need to extract the unique values from. So here I'm giving the range as B2 to B245. Okay, in this range, whichever values are unique, only those values will be getting populated. Now let us take another example for you to understand this better. Maybe I will take, in this case, I'll take this from the category. So whichever categories are unique, okay, all the unique category names will be extracted. That is what unique function do. Hope it's clear now. What if happens if number of unique values increases? Yes. See, if you have selected that range completely, then unique values also will get updated, and then the drop down list also will get updated. We have learned about how to have the drop down list automatically updated. Use that feature. During the last class, we had learned about how to add values to the drop down list automatically. Unique function will only get one particular attribute, which is the column name. Repeat the filter function with not found. Okay, I will do that. Which is only available in MS365 only. Yeah. See, filter function and unique function are only available for the MS365 and above. Purpose of unique function. See, this was one live example for that. One use case for this. When you are using the filter function and all, there are many purposes. There are many purposes of unique function. If you want to use a function C3 and want to data, yes, it is possible. Of course, it's possible. Sir, can you please repeat syntax of unique function? I will. Okay, that I think I have already explained. Can we use any function in between different sheets? Like, okay, all these are already taken. Will you provide notes in Excel? No, I want you to make notes on your own. That I've already explained. Okay, now somebody was asking me to repeat the filter function with not found. Okay, so I'll write this function again. Is equal to filter. The first attribute is the complete table. Second attribute is the specific column from where we are going to filter. Okay, and last parameter is if empty. See, okay, sorry. I need to give the condition also. Is equal to, where is that? Okay, last attribute will work only when no matches are found to this condition. If the Excel is not able to find any matches according to this condition, only then this particular attribute will get activated. Right? So only thing, you just have to put an error message in the double quotes. That's all. You just have to put an error message in the double quotes. You can put any message. You can put any message which is meaningful. Okay, so here, for example, if I am one second, this alignment problem is getting 1 second. Okay, so what happens is, if I'm giving some other states, for example, I am giving a state Maharashtra. Okay, but we don't have any data that of Maharashtra in our data. So when I'm pressing this, I'll get this error called not found. So that is how you use the uh, last parameter. Okay. From where to check which version we are currently using, I will show that. Will you provide notes for Excel? No, I've already explained that. This is very new thing learned today that will help me in regular job. Sir. Thank you so much. Will the exam be online? That I think that Janvi ma'am or somebody can explain that. You will get the details on the exam part. Okay, don't worry about it. Now, how to from where to check which MS versions are currently using? Go to the file menu. Okay, go to the file menu. Inside the file menu, there is something called account. You will find something called account. Click on the account, then you will be able to see which version you are using. For what purpose? This was an example, Baba. what, and which another example can I give you? See, there are so many purposes. I mean, there can be so many purposes. This was one example for that. You have a big data where you have multiple names, multiple state names, and you are giving the user. You are actually an MIS developer and all. So what happens is you are giving the user a freedom to only give the state name, and you get the data populated account into that. So this was one example for that. No more examples. Is this orientation for CMS students? I don't know. Yes, it's orientation for CMS students only, but I don't know why this question. Screen I have not shared. I'm going to share it only. All right. So now let us move on to the next topic of the day. Next topic is there is a tool called Subtotal in Excel. Okay, there is a tool called Subtotal in Excel. Guys, exam part you will get all the information. Okay, now concentrate on these topics. Exam part we will intimate you. You will be getting intimations. Don't worry. All right. Here we are going to learn a tool called Subtotal in Excel. For that, we have a data where we have the shirt orders. Okay. And we have the first name, the last name, the shirt color, the shirt size, and the shirt cost fields in our data. 5 fields in our data: first name, last name, shirt color, shirt size, and shirt cost. Now you'll find that there are 4 different color combinations available. One is amber, second one is blue, third one is pink, and fourth one is purple. 4 color options available. Okay, now I want to get a new row inserted after the amber shirt color. Okay, whenever after the whole amber shirt color is over, I want to have one more new row added where I must have the total of only these amber color shirts. I wanted to get it here only. Here I wanted to get. After the data of blue shirts. Before we start the data of pink shirts, I want one more row to be added where I have the blue shirts total here, the shirt cost total here. Total of the shirt cost only for this blue shirt. Okay, like that, after each color data, you wanted to have a new row added and have the subtotal for that. To do it manually, if you have, for example, this is only 4 shirt colors. Imagine we had 50 shirt colors. You will have to manually add 50 rows, which is again a tedious process. To make it simpler, Excel is offering you a tool called Subtotal tool. Okay, using which we can get this requirement done in easy steps. Right? So let's move on to the, just select this data. Okay, just select any cell inside the data and go to the data tab. Okay, let's select the whole data. Sorry, let's select the whole data. I'll select it using the Control A. Go to the data tab. Under the data tab, you will have a group called outline. You will have a group called outline. Under the outline, you will have something called a subtotal. Okay, under the outline group, inside the outline group, you will have something called, you have an option called subtotal. Click on subtotal. Okay, now here at each change in this particular field, you must select the shirt color because we are grouping it on the basis of shirt color. Right? We are not grouping it in with any other column. We are grouping it on the basis of shirt color. Now, what function do you need to perform? I need to perform the sum function. Now, for which column do you want to get the sum from? Which column do you want to get the sum for? I want the sum for the shirt cost column. So I need to select that column. Okay. So 3 things. 1, on which column you want the data to be grouped, basis on which column you wanted to group the data, what function you need to perform, and to which column you have to perform this sum function. So 3 things. Now I'll just click on OK. Now you'll find that whenever the amber data is over, I'm getting the amber total, amber shirts shirt cost total. After the blue data, after the blue shirts data, I'm getting the total shirt cost for blue shirts. After the pink data, I'm getting the pink total, and after the purple data, I am getting the purple total. Now, after all, at the end, you will be getting the grand total also, grand total of all these 4 groups. So now we have got this divided into 4 groups. We have got the data divided into 4 groups. Clear? So by automatically you are getting, you have not added the raw manually, you have not added this content manually, you have not put any functions manually. Okay, nothing you have done manually. The only thing which you have done is, I'll repeat the steps once again. Select the whole data, go to the data tab. Under the data tab, in the outline group, you will find something called subtotal. Okay, from the subtotal, choose the column on which you want the data to be grouped. In our case, I want the data to be grouped on the basis of shirt color column. What function do you want to use? I want this sum function. But if in case you wanted the average to be calculated, you can select the average. But in our case, I wanted the sum of the total, sum of the shirt cost. Now, add subtotal to which column you want this function to be performed. To which column you want the function to be performed. I want the function to be performed on shared cost. I want this function to be performed on shared cost. Now I'll click on OK. I'll find that you can find that after each shirt color you have the subtotal. After the blue shirts data you have the blue shirts total. After the pink shirts data you have the pink shirts total, and after all the total subtotals you have the grand total also. Now another benefit of grouping this is you can view this in 3 levels. You can view the whole data in 3 levels. Here this is my level number 1. Okay, notice my mouse pointer. Okay, follow my mouse pointer. You have 1, 2, 3 written here. Click on 1. You will find the level 1 view. What is the level 1 view? You will only be able to see the grand total. No other data is being seen. No other data. All the other data has been hidden now. It is automatically hidden. Okay, this is my level 1 view. And if you're taking the printout at this point, you will only get these data. You will not get the other data at all on the print also. Okay. Now level number 2. Level 2, you will get all the subtotals and the grand total. Okay. Here also, if you're taking a printout, you will get. If you're taking a printout, you will get only this data printed in the paper. Printed on the paper. Okay, the other details will not be seen. Now, level 3 view is where you will get all the data visible. So, like this, you can hide or unhide the data group wise. I'm again going to the level 2. Now imagine I don't want any other subtotals, any other details other than the blue shirts. I want to see only the details of blue shirts. I don't want to see amber. I don't want to see pink. I don't want to see purple. I only wanted to see the details of the blue shirts. Only that data is to be populated here. Is to be visible here. Okay, but if I'm going to level 3, I'm getting all the data, but I don't want that. I want only blue. Now against this blue total, go to the left hand side. You will find a small plus button here. Okay, against the blue total, to the left hand side, you will find a small plus button here. Click on the plus button, you will be able to see all the blue shirts only. Okay, now you can find that you only have the amber total only. You have the details, all the details for the blue shirts, and you have only the total for pink total and the only for total for the purple. Data for pink, data for purple and data for amber is hidden. Only blue is visible now. Clear? That way also you can expand the data. That way also you can drill down the data. Clear? So this is another advantage of creating subtotals. Now, a word of caution: when we are working with subtotal, when you are trying to add a subtotal feature, your data should be sorted on that column where you are actually grouping it. Here I am applying the grouping on the basis of shirt color. So shirt color column should be sorted properly. Okay, shirt color column should be sorted properly. Other columns, never mind. Other columns, never mind, no problem. You don't have to sort it. But shirt color column, you must sort, because this is the column using which you are trying to group the data. Now, imagine my data is unsorted. Okay, here in this case, the shirt color column is unsorted. You have purple, blue, pink, blue, purple, amber, pink, blue. So it's all unsorted. It's all scattered, shuffled. It's all shuffled. Now I am trying to do the same thing. I am trying to get the subtotal. I'll go to the data. I'll go to the outline group. Again subtotal. Here I'll select the shirt color, because this is the column using which I am trying to group the data. I want to perform the sum function only, and to the shirt cost. Okay. Now let us see what happens when I am clicking on OK. When I am clicking on OK, Excel will not give you any error as such. There is no error. But do you find any use of the data? This data? See here, after one purple, you have purple total. After one blue, you have the blue total. After one pink, you have the pink total. Again, this blue and the blue total. So we have different blue totals here. This is one blue total 9. This is one blue total 7.5. So there is no meaning for this data. That is why you are required to sort this data before you perform the subtotal feature. Before you use the subtotal tool, you must sort the data. Clear? As I told you, Excel will not give you any error as such if your data is not sorted. Excel will not give you an error, but for you, it will be meaningless to perform a subtotal feature where the data is unsorted. Hope it's clear for you. Now the subtotal tool is available for the older versions also. I think it is definitely available for 2016. I am not sure about the older still older versions. 16 it's available any which ways. Zoom the screen. Oh my god. When colors are jumbled, how should we get this total? I think I've already explained that. When colors are jumbled, how should we get the subtotal? Okay. How to sort the data using Excel or need to do manually? We have already discussed about sorting feature. Kirti, sorry. We have already discussed about the sorting feature in our previous class. I don't know whether you have missed it out. Okay, I think I've already answered to these questions. Now, let us learn another function in Excel called subtotal. Okay, we have just learned something called subtotal feature. It was a tool, but now we are going to learn the subtotal function in Excel. Right. I'm going back to the same data. Here, imagine I want to get the total of the quantity column. Normally, we use the function called sum to get the total, right? We have another function called subtotal. Now, the subtotal function can be used to find the sum, or to find the average, or to find the min, or to find the max. There are so many things which we can find using subtotal function. The same function can be used to find the sum. Same function can be used to find the average. Same function can be used to find the minimum. Same function can be used to find the maximum. So many features under the same function. Okay, under the same function you will get so many features. For example, if you wanted to get this subtotal, if you wanted to get the sum value using the subtotal function, then this is how you must do it. Okay, so I'll put is equal to subtotal, and for each function there is a corresponding number. For each function there is a corresponding number. The number corresponding to the sum function is 9. This one. The number corresponding to the sum function is 9. So I'll put 9 here. Okay, under the inside the subtotal function, the first attribute is the number which is associated with the function which you wanted to perform here. Now, second attribute, you can choose the complete column. You can choose the complete column from where do you want to get the sum from. Press enter, I will get the sum. Let me put it here. Okay. Now, what is the benefit of using this sum function? I mean subtotal function. Okay. We also have the sum function, right? We also have the sum function. But what is the difference between getting the result using sum function and the subtotal function? What is the difference? Okay. Before that, let me calculate the average of the unit price. Okay. Before I go to the advantages, let me go to the let me calculate the average also for the unit price column. So here I'll use the same subtotal function. Okay, and I'll put the number corresponding to the average, which is that number, it is 1, comma, and here I'll select the source from where do you want to find the average from. Okay, so I've got the average here, and here similarly I am using the average function itself. Okay, not the subtotal. I'm finding the average itself. So we are going to see some comparisons here. That is why I'm putting the same thing. Okay, this value I've got it using subtotal. This value I've got it using sum and average functions. Okay, this is using subtotal. This is using normal sum and average function. Now I'm going to apply a filter to this data. I am going to apply a filter to this data. Now I am going to filter the data on the basis of state with only Tamil Nadu details to be displayed. Okay, I am only filtering the data, filtering it with Tamil Nadu as the condition. Now I'll come down. Can you see any differences between this value and this value now? This we have found it using sum function. This we have found it using subtotal function. There is a value change here, right? The value has been changed here, right? How did it get changed? Because when we are using the subtotal and when we are filtering the data, the subtotal function automatically recalculates according to that filter which we have selected. But sum function will not dynamically change it. Sum function will always find the sum from all these cells. Sum function will always find this sum from all these cells. But subtotal, when we are using the subtotal function and when we are filtering the data, automatically the total value also will be updated. And this is showing only the total of the quantity values from Tamil Nadu, because that is what we have filtered here. I'll remove this filtering. Let me choose any other filtering, like, okay, from category, I'm choosing only crackers. From category, I'm choosing only crackers. Now, under the crackers, in the crackers, if you can see here, the quantity, I mean, the total subtotal value for the quantity is 957 for crackers category. Here, there is no change, but here it is getting changed. Clear? So this is one major advantage of using subtotal function. One major advantage of using subtotal function. All right. So so that was the subtotal function. So subtotal function can be used as a wildcard function, can also be called as a wildcard function, because this works on behalf of sum, on behalf of average, on behalf of min, max. If you forget about all these functions, you can only remember one single function called subtotal, which will help you to get all these calculations done. Okay. Second thing, when you are using the subtotal and when you are filtering the data, the value automatically changes, automatically gets updated. Okay. And unlike for the sum and average function, for the normal sum and average functions. Clear? So these are the two major advantages of using subtotal function. Now I'm pausing it here. You can ask any doubts in terms of subtotal feature and subtotal function. I am opening up the Q&A. You can put in the questions regarding the subtotal feature and subtotal functions.
Yes, students, any doubt? Please clarify now.
Okay, clear, understood. Explain how to rearrange data. I didn't get your question. What do you mean by rearranging the data? Are you talking about the sorting? In that case, we already have discussed about the sorting in our previous class. What is subtotal function? Okay, you want me to explain this again? I'll explain, not a problem. Okay, I'll explain that. Clear. Again, you are asking about the guys. Do not ask the questions regarding the exams now. You will be getting all the informations. Okay, Janvi ma'am, am I right? They'll be getting all the intimations, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Correct.
Because there are so many questions arising regarding the exam. So I think they are very curious about the exam rather than the topic. Okay, so when the colors are jumbled, then it is impossible to get the subtotal. See, it is not, yeah, it is I mean, I can always tell, okay, I'll read out the question. When the colors are jumbled, then it is impossible to get the subtotal. Can you clarify? To get the subtotal in the correct manner, as it is required, in the required format, then you must have the data sorted. You must have the data sorted. Clear? So that is what. Soumya, I couldn't get. What do you want me to explain it again? I did not understand. If you have missed the previous classes due to some reasons, what we need to do, you will get the recordings, but not. I mean, towards the end of the after the all the sessions are over, then only it will take some time for you to get the recordings. How to create main column heading and drop down. Main column heading and drop down. No, that I did not get. That I did not get. I want more clarity on that question. Okay, Janvi ma'am, I think there is one more question. Some of us are already completed the soft skill exam, whether we need to do the exam again. I think I am not the person to answer that question. Janvi ma'am, can you
Yeah.
support on that question?
Yes, sir. So students who has mentioned that they have completed the software exam, please mention your registration number. Let me check that.
Yeah.
Regarding the exams, sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Regarding the exam, students who are telling when will the exam be held, first let the class complete. The classes for Microsoft e-filing and Cambridge needs to be completed, and then only the assessment for this will be held. Okay, for all the exams. Assessment will be from Microsoft and e-filing, not for Cambridge, or might be, but we need to check that out. E-filing and Cambridge, e-filing and Microsoft, the assessment will be held. And for this, you will be notified. So please wait for some time. Do not ask any questions pertaining to the assessment right now. As the topic of Microsoft is going on, if any doubts regarding Microsoft, please ask now.
Okay, again another question. During the SAP classes also, we were told recorded classes would be available, but we are not able to find the recorded classes.
Okay, so student, the recorded classes, what you have to do is go to the institute website, wherein you have to mention your registration number and date of birth, and then put the batch as batch 6. That recordings will be available. Just check once.
Okay, guys. Again, when the exam is held, we will be intimated. Can you provide the practice sheet? Okay, we are discussing about that. We'll very soon make all the practice sheets available to you through a drive. That's what we have decided. You'll get the intimation on that also. Okay. So practice sheet, exam. Soumya, so how can I help you? I don't know. You were not present from the beginning, no? So make sure you are attending to the class from the beginning only. Okay, otherwise you will miss out the complete thing. Please be punctual in attending the classes. Some of us are already completed with hospitals. Okay, this is already answered. So this is already answered. Column heading like stage color, etc. Still I did not get stage color, etc. Still, I did not get this question. Column heading like state, color, etc. I did not get. I have not understood what is subtotal function. That I will repeat. Soumya, I will repeat that subtotal function again. During SAP classes also, we were told, okay, done. Registration number is being given, Janvi ma'am. You can check it out.
Yes, sir, I'll check it.
All right. So let me go back to this data. Somebody wanted me to explain the subtotal function again. I'll share the screen. So subtotal function is one function which you can use it for finding the sum. The same function can be used to find the average. The same function can be used to find the min, max, count, so many things. But only one function, different features. Okay, one function, different uses. That is subtotal function. One function with different uses. Okay, let me use this function subtotal. Okay, the subtotal function will take the first parameter. There is one particular number which is associated with each of the functions. Okay, for example, if you wanted to find the sum, the number is 9. You must put 9 so that subtotal function will find the sum for you. Okay, if you are giving 1, then it is average. If you are giving 1, then it is average. Now subtotal function will find the average for you. Okay, now second parameter, you must select the whole column. From where do you need to find the sum from? Press enter. I am getting the total. I am getting the total. And here I am going to use the same subtotal function. Same subtotal function and press 1. Okay, to find the average. I am going to find the average of the unit price. Okay, so only two parameters. First parameter is the function number. Second parameter is the source column. From where do you need the calculation to be done? Okay, now I have got this. Now the benefit, now I already also have given normal sum function to find the sum. I also have given normal average function to find the average. Now by seeing this, you will find that there is no changes between these values. Okay, this value and this value is exactly the same. This value and this value is exactly the same. Okay, now if I am filtering this data, for example, I am filtering Kerala data only. Now you will find that subtotal function, the value which we have found from the subtotal function have got updated automatically. Now this value which I am seeing here is only the value for Kerala. This is the total of the quantity only for the Kerala state. But here some function there is no change. The value will not get automatically updated. So that is another benefit of using subtotal function. Whenever the data is filtered, the value also will get automatically recalculated and updated. Okay, that is the benefit of using subtotal function. Hope it's clear now. Okay, guys, now let us move on to the next topic. Okay, for this I am going to take a fresh data set. Okay, before that, will you teach how to use Excel using AI? I'll try to cover something on AI also. Okay, if time permits, I'll try to cover something on AI also. Start with within the formula tab called use of ChatGPT in Excel. I didn't get that question, Rahul. Sir, will you teach how to use? Okay, that is already covered. We put another transaction when the total is automatically update or not. That also I did not get. Ayush, I want you to make the question more clear. If we put another transaction, then the total is automatically update or not. When? Are you asking about when we are using subtotal function? Then if that is the case, yes, it will be automatically updated. No, it will not be updated because if that falls under the range which we have selected, no, under the subtotal function, in the second parameter we used to select a range. Okay, if a new data is added outside the range, then it will not be automatically calculated. Then it will not be automatically calculated by obviously. Okay, only if that falls under the same range, then it will be calculated automatically. Fine. Subtotal function only for filter. No, Baba. Subtotal function is actually to find the sum or average or count. But the benefit, one of the benefit of using subtotal function is that when you filter the data, the value also get updated automatically. Do not confuse that subtotal is only to do filter. No, nothing like that. Okay. One advantage is that I was just telling an advantage of subtotal function where when you filter the data, the value also gets updated. Right? Even otherwise, you can, even if you are not at all using the filter also, still you can use subtotal function. There is no problem. Okay. All right. Okay. Some of the you can see, guys. Somebody was telling you can get some practice files from this particular link. Somebody have shared some links or something. You can check it out also. Okay, so now I am going to share another screen with you. Okay, here I have taken a fresh worksheet. Okay, so now imagine I am going to add some data in this sheet. Let us give some product names and the sale value. Only two columns. The product name and the sale value. Product name I will just give P1, P2, P3, P4 and P5. And the sale value I can just give 1000, 2500, 4350, some random numbers I'm just giving. Okay, 1540. All right. Okay, now I'll rename this sheet to Jan. Let this be the data for the month of January. Okay, now I'll copy the same sheet. I'm going to duplicate this sheet. I hope we already had discussed about duplicating a sheet. Still, I'll just explain it again how to duplicate a sheet. What is duplicating a sheet? I am going to create another sheet with the same data, same format, everything in the same format. The data also will be copied, the formula, the formats, everything will be duplicated. Same, it's Xerox copy of this particular sheet. How do we do that? Right click on the sheet name. Okay, right click on the sheet name, click on move or copy. Right click on the sheet name, click on move or copy. Now check this option called create a copy. Enable this option called create a copy and click on OK. Now you will find that another sheet with the name Jan 2 has been created. What is the value in Jan 2? Ditto same that of Jan sheet. This is my Jan sheet, this is my Jan 2 sheet. Both are having the same value, same formatting, everything is same. Now I'll rename this to Feb data. Okay, I'll rename this sheet to Feb. Okay, so this is January data, this is February data. In February data, I'll change some value 3920, 2140 for the product 3. Let us take 3350, 2192 and some random numbers here also. Okay, again I am going to create a copy. So I've got the Feb 2. Here I'll change this to March, the same steps. Okay, so in the March month, these were the sales for each product in the March month. I'm just putting some random numbers. Now, imagine you have a consolidate sheet. Okay, wait. I'll create a copy for that also. And this sheet is called consolidated. Consolidated values. Okay, I'll delete these values. Now here, what I want is, I want the total of this value plus this value plus this value and put it in consolidated sheet. So consolidated values sheet should have the total of Jan, Feb, March for each product. So what is the total value for P1? What is the total value for P1 for Jan plus value for P1 in Feb plus value for P1 in March? I'll put it here. Value, sales value for P1 in Jan plus plus value for P1 in Feb plus value for P1 in March. So that total value has to be updated here. How do we find the total value normally? Normally, I'll put an is equal to symbol here. Okay, and I'll go to the Jan sheet and select this cell. Okay, now I'll put a plus sign on the formula bar. I'll put a plus sign in the formula bar. Then I'll go to the Feb sheet and select a value. Feb sheet and select a value. Then again I'll put a plus sign. Then I'll go to the March sheet and select this value and press enter. Now I have got the totals for P1 products. Totals for the P1 products for January, for February and March. Clear? Now I can drag this down so that I'll get the corresponding values automatically. Now, since we had only 3 sheets, finding this total was not a big task. Imagine we have 50 sheets like this. Okay, imagine we have 50 sheets like this. Then selecting this manually and creating a consolidated sheet will be a heavy task for you. Okay, putting an is equal to symbol, going to the first sheet, selecting that cell, again plus, again going to the next sheet, again value selected, again plus. So doing this and again for the 50 sheets will be heavily difficult task for you. So there is a feature in Excel. Okay, there is a feature in Excel which will allow you to create a consolidated sheet with much easiness. Easily you can create a consolidated sheet. Right? Now we are going to learn how that is done. Give me a moment. Okay, now for that you need to go to the data tab. Okay, you need to go to the data tab, and inside the data tab, I think, yeah, this is the icon for consolidate. Okay, under the data tab, under the data tools group, you have an icon called consolidate. Click on the consolidate icon. Okay, now from here you must choose what function is to be performed. What function do we need now? I want the total of the sales values, right? So the function is sum only. I'm not going to change it. Clear? In case you wanted the average, in case you wanted to get the average, all right. In case you want to get the average, you can choose the average from this list. Okay. Now, under the reference, you can click here, go to the January sheet and click on this value. Go to the January sheet and click on this value. Okay. Now, once this is added, click on the add. Click on the add button. Okay. Now go to the Feb sheet, select this, just select this value and click add. Go to the March sheet, select this value and click add. Now all these has been added. Jan sheet, Feb sheet and March sheet has been added. Okay. One second. I did a small mistake here. I don't have to have the headings here. I can take the headings from there only. Okay. So I'll repeat the same steps. Go to, select one value from the January sheet. Go to the data tab, and from the data tab under the data tools group, click on the consolidate. Select the function which you wanted to perform. Okay. Under the reference tab, okay, inside the reference tab, select P1 sales value for January. Click on the add. Okay, click on the add. Now go to the February sheet, select P1 sales value, click on add. Now go to March sheet, select sales value for March for P1 and click on add. Now all the data has been added now. January P1 sales, Feb P1 sales and March P1 sales has been added. Now select these two options, top row and left column. Select these two options and click on OK. Some references overlap the destination area. Okay, there is some error which has come. Let me check what is that error. Let me try this once again. Okay, I'll remove this. I'll start it once again. The first step here I am going to select is go to the consolidated values sheet and select a cell. Okay, and select a cell. Now from here I'll go to the Jan sheet, P1 sales value, click on the add button, go to the Feb sheet, P1 sales value, click on the add button, March sheet, P1 sales value, click on the add button. Now check these two options, top row and left column, and click on OK. No data was consolidated. What is happening? Did I do any mistakes or is there any system errors? Let me check this once again. Please hold on, guys. Okay, let me try this way. I think I am doing some mistakes. Okay, don't worry. I'll explain this once again from the scratch. I'm just troubleshooting what exactly is the problem here. So let me try to select the whole thing here. Okay, I'm not just selecting only one value. I'm selecting the whole thing here and I'm clicking on add. I'll select the whole thing here also, February also. I'll click on add and I'll select the whole data from the March sheet also and click on add. Now let us see if this is working properly. Yes, this is working properly. Yeah. So, okay, I will come to this again. Okay, I'll start from the scratch. Don't worry, because there was some mistakes which I also have done now. So I have corrected that mistake. Now I will explain. I'll start to explain the consolidate feature from the start. Now, why is consolidated feature? I mean, where is the consolidated feature used? For example, you have some data spread across some sheets. Okay, in this example, I have for the month of January, I have all the product names listed and the sales value for each product. Okay, so this data is for the month of January. Similarly, we have the February sheet also. Okay, we have the data for the month of February also. Similarly, we have the March month data also. So now in this sheet, I want the total. I want the total of Jan, Feb, March for each product. Okay, I want the total of Jan, Feb, March for each product. Now I'll also add some function to this. Okay, February also find the sum, March also I'm finding the sum. Okay, so now my requirement is that I want to have the totals for P1, P2, P3 and P4 for the month of January, February and March. I want the total for P1 for January, February, March. I want the total for P2 for January, February, March, P3 for January, February, March and P4 for all these 3 months. Now total I need to have the grand total. Grand total also I wanted to have. Grand total also I wanted to have. Okay, this is my requirement. So to get this requirement achieved, you need to select one particular cell in the consolidated values sheet. This is my step number 1. Now I'll go to the data tab and click on consolidate feature. Okay. In the consolidate feature, first thing you must select is what function do you want to perform? What function do you want to perform in the consolidate sheet. In this case, in our case, we need to perform the sum function only. In our case, we need to perform the sum function only. So I am not changing this. I am using the sum function itself here. Now, in the reference tab, you must select the whole data from January. You must select the whole data from January and click on add. Whole data from January and click on add. Similarly, go to the February sheet, select the whole sheet and click on add. Go to the March, select the whole range and click on add. So now I have added Jan data, Feb data and March data. Now enable these two buttons, top row and left column. Enable these two buttons and click on OK. Now you will find that similar table, the same similar table, a similar table has been populated here. Similar table has been populated here. Due to some errors, I don't know whether this product name, the heading was missing, and product name was missing, and the grand total is also missing. But that is easy to be found out, right? I can have the shortcut key called Alt is equal to. Okay, Alt is equal to find the sum. So I've got the grand total also. So here, for the P1, what we are seeing here, this is the value for which is added from January, February and March sheet. Okay, this is the total value for P1 for the months of January, February and March. This is the total value for the P2 for January, February and March. This is the total value for P3 for January, February and March. Like that it will go. And this is my grand total. This is my grand total. Clear, guys? This is consolidate feature in Excel. When do we need to use this feature? Whenever your data is spread across different sheets and you wanted to get the total, you wanted to total all these sheets and put the totals in one single sheet. That is when you use this feature called consolidate. Okay. Any doubts on this consolidate feature, guys? When it is open, any doubts in terms of consolidate feature?
Any doubts, students? Please now mention it in the Q&A section.
How to arrange the data in alphabetical order as in case of amber, blue, etc. We had talked about sorting. We have already talked about sorting. Okay, in my day 2 class, the sorting was there. I think you would have missed that session. That is why you are asking this question. See, if you have missed the class and you want me to explain this again, it is not possible. We have all the others who have already attended this class, and it's a waste of time. We are actually doing the same thing again and again. Then only for that we will get the time. We won't move. We won't get the topics ahead. So this was detailed. This was explained in detail during my day two class. All the features of sorting, because it will take some time. 15-20 minutes it will take. So please do not miss the class. That is the only option here. If you have already attended the class and while doing this you are getting a specific error, that can be covered. That's not a problem. But explaining one concept again and again is a bit difficult. Janvi ma'am, am I right?
Yes, sir, correct.
Yeah. Because this particular topic of sorting was completely taken in detail in my day 2 class. Okay. Humble request to ICMA, please update the 360 files. They are too old, especially the e-filing files. Okay, that is Janvi ma'am. This is, I think.
Yes, sir, I'm replying to it. I'm replying to it.
Fine. All right. Sir, consolidate feature only work when we have different sheet or any other case we use. No, nothing. No, Ayush. Consolidate feature will only work when we have different sheets. That is the importance. That is the use of this sheet. That is the use of this feature. You pressed Alt plus is equal to get sum. Yes, Alt plus is equal to. Yes, that is the shortcut key to find the sum. Are there any alternatives to consolidate? I don't think so. No, there is no other alternatives to consolidate. When will we get the recordings? Already explained 100 times. You will be getting intimations in terms of recording. Use the Microsoft webinar links to get the backup classes. You can see the classes any time and also attendance taken. I think this will be helpful, friends. Okay, somebody is trying to help you out. Maybe you can try. No doubt. Okay, thank you. Okay. Then we will move on to one last feature before we close for the lunch. Very small feature, but very powerful and highly useful feature. Let me open that file. 1 second. Okay. So here we have the details of some employees. Okay, employee ID is there and employee name is also there. Now all the employees have a first name and a last name. Okay, so the first name and the last name is given together here. The full name is given in this column. We are asked to separate the first name from this full name and the last name in two different cells. Example, for this guy, the name is Krishna Kumar. This is the full name. Now I will give Krishna here and Kumar in the last name cell. Okay, this is the requirement. I wanted to have each and every name to be splitted in two different cells. That is the requirement. For that, you can type the Krishna, the first name of the first employee. The first name of the first employee I have manually given. Now I'll press enter. Pressing enter will take me to the next cell down. Okay, one cell down. Then on the keyboard, press Control E. Okay, on the keyboard, press Control and E key together. Control plus E. Control plus E. Okay, then Excel will automatically identify this is the first name. This is the first name of this guy. This is the first name of this guy. Okay, and now I need to get the last name also, right? So similar thing, put Kumar here and press Control E. Put Kumar here and press Control E. So you are getting the last name also separated in one single click, in one single button. You are getting all these last name, first name and last name getting separated. Okay, what happens here is when you are pressing the Control E, okay, Excel is trying to identify on what basis did we take this first name. So after analyzing, Excel have found that the user have given the first word before the space. So whatever word is there before the first space button, okay, before the first space, that word is being extracted. So Excel intelligently understands that. Okay, Excel intelligently understands that this guy have given the first name. Okay, this guy have given the first name, the first word before the space. So whatever word before the first space, in this case, the first space is here. Okay, so before the space, Muhammad. So that Muhammad is being extracted. Here, first space is here. Before the space, we have the word Rafi. So that Rafi is being given here. So Excel will intelligently understand how the first name has been extracted. Okay, so this is called flash fill in Excel. This is called flash fill in Excel. Very useful tool, and this can work with any other different options also, different scenarios also. This is first name and last name. You might have, okay, let us take this also. Now I wanted to get only the ID part. Okay, each and every employee is having, for example, this is ID 18. This is ID 8. I want to get only 18 here. From this, I want to get only 18 here. I'll just press 18 and I'll press Control E. One more thing which you need to understand, I did not mention that I took this 18 from this column. I have never ever mentioned I have nowhere mentioned that this 18 has come from this column. Okay, nowhere I have mentioned that. But how did I get it? Excel have intelligently understood that this 18 has come from this column. Okay, and there is 2 characters before that. Now the user wants me to give only the number part. User wants me to give only the number part. That is what Excel have understood intelligently. Accordingly, all the other data has been populated, has been extracted. Clear? So this is the feature. This is a very powerful feature, highly useful also. Control E, flash fill. Okay. So now I think I know it's 10 minutes earlier, but still because I can't start a new topic now, we don't have time to complete the new topic. So we'll break for the lunch now. We'll come back and we'll start the new topic fresh. Okay, Janvi ma'am?
Yes, sir, sure, sure.
Yeah. So if you have any doubts, you can ask it now. We'll wait for 2 more minutes. Then we'll break for the lunch and we'll come back at 1 and start with the new topic fresh.
Yes, sir. So students, if you have any doubts now, please mention it now in the Q&A section. We are waiting for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's a flash fill feature. Ayush. So multiple sheets and multiple data in one sheet and multiple sheets and multiple data in one sheet. Then consolidated feature will be no. This is the easiest method. We see rather than giving a formula and selecting one sheet, selecting each cell from each sheet, it's too hefty, no? So rather than that, this is the only easiest method. Consolidate. More advanced functions for consolidations of sheets. I need to check it. I mean, I don't think there is any for consolidations. What is the name of that feature? It's flash fill. Sonali, it's flash fill. We are doing basic Excel or advanced Excel. See, some of the features which we have seen now is from advanced Excel. So data validations and all doesn't come in the basic Excel. It's all advanced. But we'll be covering most of the advanced features also. We'll be covering with the lookup functions. We'll be covering with the pivot table. Everything will be covered. And if time permits, we'll also cover some topics from macros also. Okay, and where do I get the data sets you are using for practice? We will intimate. We'll intimate on the practice sheets. We're trying to get it on a drive and share it with you. All right. Any three parts as name for some random employees? Yeah. See, in that case, okay, that's a good question. Somebody is asking, we have first name and last name. Okay, but what if some employees have got middle name also? What would happen in that case? In that case, you will have to create one more column called middle name. Okay, but that is bit tricky. Okay, you might have to work around it. You might have to try with different possibilities in terms of flash fill. You cannot directly use a flash fill as we had used it here. Because only some employees, if all the employees is having first name, middle name, and last name, then it's okay. Okay, but if only some employees is having first name, middle name, last name, and some employees is having only first name and last name, then it will be a small problem. Okay, then it will be a bit of small problem. Not work as we had decided. Thank you so much, Monica. I just use the class routine as practice data sheet. and used all today's functions. Good, very good. That's how you have to practice. Curious about VLOOKUP feature? We will definitely cover VLOOKUP feature also. It's there in the as a part. First day Word class did you post on this Sunday? No, no, no. We have not started posting any recordings. Okay, sir. If we change the number of the employee ID, then Flash will no. It will not change automatically. So that is another important thing. Saloni is asking if I'm changing the source data. If I'm changing the employee ID, will my the other column where we have used the Flash will that column gets automatically updated? No, it will not work as if we are using a formula. It is not like using a formula. So only when we are using a formula, the column gets updated automatically. Otherwise, it will not get updated automatically. You must do this again. Okay. All these are answered. So I hope there are no further questions. So we'll break for lunch, and yeah, it's almost 11:57 now. We'll come back at 1 o'clock sharp.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. So
Yeah.
students, now we'll take a break and we'll be back by 1 p.m. So make sure to come back at 1 p.m. for the next session of Microsoft.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
so much.
Yeah. Thank you.